Today we return to the world of Miraculous Ladybug to try to puzzle out one of the franchise's great big mysteries. This mystery? The identity of the character of Mr. Banana. Who's Mr. Banana, you might ask? Well, he's a costumed minor celebrity within the canon of the Miraculous world, whose notable catchphrase is to stay peachy. His actual face has never been seen within the show itself, and he has no name as of right now outside of Mr. Banana. He's a character that has no real plot relevance, and he does really just seem to exist to give the world a bit of added flavour. So why would I care about his identity, you might be thinking? Well, for fun mostly. In all likelihood, the character's never going to be revealed, or in the end it'll just be some random dude we've never seen before. But that's no fun. It's Christmas, and so I want to do something a little bit goofy and ridiculous. I want to try and see if we can puzzle anything together from what we've seen of him within the show itself, and see if we can figure out if it's any named character at all, or just a throwaway random. I will admit, this has got to be one of the dumbest ideas I've ever made a video about, but so often I think fandoms of all types do get dragged down into negativity and toxicity far too often. I'll admit I'm not immune to this, and I often find myself doing much of the same. Since we're in the Christmas season though, I want some good vibes on the channel, and specifically in the Miraculous fandom we've cultivated over the last couple of years. So here it is, a joke video on a joke topic. Regardless of all that though, joke or not, the identity of Mr. Banana is some damn serious business. So let's dive ever deeper into the mystery of Mr. Banana. He has relatively few episode appearances right now, which makes sense because he's a comedy character who only ever appears in the form of a giant anthropomorphic banana. That's not really a character you're going to structure an episode around, and it's not a character that has a lot of versatility within the story. Because of that, he doesn't appear much, and so it shouldn't be too hard to go through all these episodes and see what there is to find. Mr. Banana makes his debut in Anansi in the form of a flashback. Alia recounts to Nora a time that the two of them and Marinette had been out and about when they came across Mr. Banana handing out flyers. Flyers of Adrien's face. Nora thought he was an akumatized villain and attacked him. I'd forgotten this. So already we can rule out some big names. It can't be Alia, or Nora, or Marinette. After all, the three of them appear in this very brief flashback together with Mr. Banana. That's it for his very brief appearance in this episode and Season 2. He never appears again. I have a feeling he was initially just going to be a one-and-done character, but then they pulled some strings to have him involve more and more and make cameos. Especially since here he seems to work handing out flyers in a goofy costume, which is kind of an entry-level job that doesn't pay well. In every subsequent appearance, he's a minor celebrity on TV. That is very much at odds with him handing out flyers. I'm not crapping on it. I think they found a very clever way to keep including a character with a funny design. I just find it curious. We don't see him again for ages, not until Season 3 in the episode Kwame Buster, where he's part of a panel including singer XY and Manon. My god, talk about nepotism, why the hell would they bring Manon in as a judge on this show? So anyway, the show is called Alternative Truth, and guests come in to peddle their conspiracy theories and the like. Mr. Banana seems to play the role of the harsh judge, giving a no to 2 out of 3 of the contestants. Ultimately though, that doesn't matter much because we are here to puzzle out who he is. So it can't be Mr. Damocles, pretty much anybody in Miss Poussier's class at all, Ms. Mendeleev, XY, Alec, or Manon, or Gabe since he's busy sending out Akumas this episode, although that would be really funny. Can you imagine what it would take to convince Gabe to wear that banana costume and leap around screaming about how everybody needs to stay peachy? Now that is cinema. I wish it was him simply because of that. It isn't, but I wish it was. It would be like a second Simon Says. Moving on, we have to keep ruling characters out. It can't be Alex's brother, or the superfan stalker guy of Jagged Stone. Also, did they make up at the end of Pixelator? Otherwise, I wonder how that conversation went when they meet again at the party. We can maybe rule out Nadia and Master Fu from the equation, as we do see them later on in the episode, but at the same time, when we see them, Mr. Banana's nowhere to be found, and in fact, I think he'd escaped from the villain and removed his costume. So technically, it could be them. So remember, Adrien then swipes his costume later on to wear, and he keeps it, wearing it again during Feast when Master Fu recalls both of the Miraculouses in order to protect Ladybug and Cat Noir from the Sentimonster. The next time we see the costume is on Adrien during Feast, but we already know that it can't be him. After all, we saw him in Kwame Buster watching Mr. Banana on the TV program, which was being broadcast live. Also, did Adrien just steal the suit from Mr. Banana? Didn't return it? Or does he simply cosplay as the guy in his spare time? Does he know him personally, do you think? Who knows? On the one hand, the dude does turn up at the impromptu rager that Nino throws for Adrien in his bedroom. On the other hand, we saw Adrien steal the suit. I do have to wonder, did Mr. Banana just not notice his suit was gone? You'd think he would have checked the CCTV in his dressing room, right? Well, maybe not in his dressing room, because I somehow doubt they'd have one in there. People are getting changed and all, but the hallway at least. And if you check that footage, you'd see Adrien go in and the banana costume come out. Reckon we found ourselves a little bit of a plot hole right here. We can then skip over to the episode Party Crasher and rule out a bunch more people. It's not Wayhem or Gorilla. Let's just stop here for a sec, by the way. This is not a bash video, and so Christmas has come early for you, Wayhem. But we gotta talk about this dude soon, right? Back to Mr. Banana, though. He's not the police guy, or the photographer, or Thomas Astrick. He's not Mark, or Jagged Stone, or Fang. He's not Luca. Also, my god, just realised Jagged knows that Luca's his son. Here they are at the same party, and he doesn't say a thing. What a truly terrible father. Underrated contender for worst father in the show, although Andre and Gabe really do have that on lock, don't they? They leave him in the dust. It can't be Milen's dad, it isn't the fencing instructor, or either of the two degenerate Andres. They all attend the party alongside our mysterious banana. It isn't Mr. Pigeon or the butler that works for Chloe and Andre. It isn't the creepy sculptor or this guy, whoever this guy is. It's not the magician either. We can firmly rule out Master Fu as well. We can see he's at the party with Mr. Banana. Hell, it's not even a bunch of those unnamed background extra characters that pop up to fill out scenes or to be victims of Makumatai's villains. Now, after the party's attacked, I believe Mr. Banana gets caught by Party Crasher, and since we see Roland later on in that episode, it's clear it's not him. I mean, you could probably have ruled him out via personality alone, but you never know. Also, whilst we're here, we can rule out Gina and Tom. Gina's not around enough in the story, and Tom is way too big. The next time he appears is as a guest at the wedding anniversary of Andre and Audrey. I have no idea why they'd invite him to this. Feels like something Chloe and Audrey would hate. Pretty sure we've already ruled out a lot of the attendees, but now we can certainly scratch off Bob Roth, Natalie, Sabine, Tomoe, Kagami, Audrey, Penny, Prince Ali, the lady in pink, whatever her name is, and then this person who looks like grown-up Sabrina. He doesn't figure into the rest of this episode, as we don't see him again until the start of Season 4. That happens in the episode Lies, where we see him sitting alongside Cat Noir in the park. Cat Noir tries to engage with him, but he gets majorly ignored. Whew. Can't really rule anybody out from there, though. Wishmaker's up next, but not many characters can be ruled out from this episode because we've done most of them by this point. There's the Geppetto-looking guy, but like I said, then there's just a bunch of other characters we've done before. We do learn that Mr. Banana's dream was to become a cucumber, though. That's certainly something. I don't think he has any other appearances during the course of Season 4, so it's over to Season 5 to finish off our checklist. In Season 5, he appears in Illusion and Collusion. This allows us to rule out the usual suspects as well as Nadia completely and Miss Bustier. They both appear alongside Banana in these two episodes. He appears in the Paris special too, but I don't really think it helps to narrow it down any further. These are the last episodes he's appeared in thus far, and so we can't really use this criteria to help us out any longer. So now we're flying blind. There's no other real evidence, and nobody else to rule out based on what we've seen in the episodes alone. Well, I guess you could say it's highly likely he's going to appear again during Season 6 and beyond. He is a funny little background character that makes people laugh. It would be foolish to dump him, which is why they won't dump him. Ultimately, though, it's all irrelevant because this is all that's out so far. So thus, there's no more evidence, and we have to strap on our tinfoil hats for an answer. Also, watch me say this, and then somebody's able to find a scene that proves it isn't him. But I think, well, I don't actually think, but this is my tinfoil hat answer, that it's Felix. Yes, Felix. You might be thinking, oh, that's a stupid answer, Smarty Pants, but it all fits. It's so deeply obvious. Asterix been hiding it in plain sight this whole time. You just have to connect the dots. Mr. Banana is clearly a dude. Well, probably a dude. It's all in the voice. Felix and Mr. Banana have never been seen on screen at the same time, but it goes deeper. We often see Mr. Banana on TV, so he's some sort of minor celebrity. He seems to have a bit of a meaner personality outside of his character, though. He's by far the harshest judge on the panel show. And when Cat Noir, a full-on superhero, tries to chat with him at the park, he ignores him. Ignoring a famous hero? If you don't want to interact with people, why are you wearing the suit? Unless you have something to hide. So we can speculate that perhaps Mr. Banana, in his personal life, has a cut-off and somewhat blunt personality. And that does seem like the Felix that we know. Plus, we know from Adrien that Felix used to be a bit more fun and goofy. After all, when they meet again, he's shocked at how different he acts. Perhaps Mr. Banana's on-screen persona is more similar to the old Felix. Plus, now we know that Mr. Banana clearly doesn't want to be out and about in his true form. But why? Well, Felix perhaps doesn't want to be seen. Remember, by this point he's probably already trying to contend with Gabe. Plus, we know he's not in school, and thus he could slip to Paris to become Mr. Banana whenever he needs to be. On top of that, we know that Mr. Banana wanted to be a cucumber as a kid. A cucumber? That can be turned into a pickle. And what's a brand of pickles? Felix. We're through the looking glass here, people. Well, I gotta say, that's all the evidence I need. But on top of that, they all shared a voice actor in Season 3. Yes, it was changed in Season 4 onwards, but there's insignificant details. That's just the production trying to throw us off the scent. Trust me, it's all coming together. Anyway, Not much else to say beyond that, so I'll leave you here. And so with all that being said, these have all just been my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What do you think of my crackpot theory? Are you with me? Maybe not. Do you have any other contenders or perhaps evidence to help my case? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment and subscribe and let me know.